So I'm back at Rare Gems Talent School in Kenya and working alongside Phyllis and Nancy. My plan, I came in February and met them for the very first time, where I was talking at a conference for them, met the students, met the school and saw the organisation and really saw the difference they're making to Kenyan children. Became a board member for them and vowed to come back. I just didn't realise it would be only a couple of months later. The object to come over to see them was to find out some of their struggles, some of the problems that they have within their school, and we've identified space is the biggest thing. They accommodate, they started their organisation very small with a couple of children and now up to nearly 200 children, and children board here. And what we're trying to do is trying to create an environment where the children can not only learn but be creative. I think they've done a phenomenal job with the space that they're allocated with, and the students are just joyful and happy and doing some phenomenal work with them. So what we're trying to do is trying to create some money for them to be able to buy a piece of land to actually build a school. Now we're looking at an organisation, Dyslexia organisation, which is very unique in this country, in Kenya. It's giving the children a place to call their own. And with everything that we're trying to do, if we can create that new school, it gives more space, it then brings more children in. Like in the interviews, we've mentioned that they cannot even accommodate another one person. So you're depriving another one person effectively of having the amazing things that all the rest of the students are having. And wouldn't it be amazing if we could actually have 50 applicants and say, yes, we can house all 50? So we're creating a fundraiser in England, Galabo, and we'll be working on further projects with the Rare Gem School to try and raise funds to give the children the opportunities that the other children have. The classrooms are very. The children are all kind of quite squashed up and quite small. We know from I'm dyslexic myself, and I need a certain amount of space to be able to think and be creative and work. And with a dyslexic mind, if you're working with a dyslexic child, to limit the space sometimes it's very, very difficult. So I've witnessed firsthand. What they do with the space is remarkable, and the teachers are doing a fantastic job, but it would just be nice if the child had a little bit more room to not just accommodate more children, but to accommodate the child so they got that element of space. I've definitely noticed in my few times that I've been to Kenya now that there seems to be more of a stigma with a child that has dyslexia in Kenya than there are in England. I think we're incredibly fortunate in the UK that yes, there are still many things that we need to develop, but we do have fantastic access to information and things to help the children. And I feel maybe just speaking to parents and some of the teachers that it's a lack of knowledge and a lack of understanding, which really makes you think that the organisation that Phyllis and Nancy have is paramount to be able to not just educate the children, but to educate the parents and fellow colleagues as well. I think we can all do more, realistically, with regards to dyslexia. I mean, it'd be fantastic if the government gets on board and there's a certain amount of money that's dedicated to organisations to help further and support. But I think it just comes down to it really does. I mean, you're not just. We think of dyslexia as just the one thing, and that's a child with dyslexia. But it affects families. It affects such a broader spectrum. And I think if we can educate in the best way, then I really do think it will benefit so many people. And again, generations to come as well.